Hello everybody, welcome back to another Lost Ark video. Today we're doing Topical Tuesday. This is the video series where we go over the top posts on Reddit and we see what's poppin'. I don't think this is going to be a super crazy week, just because there hasn't been much going on. But we'll see what's been poppin'. So, first post here is, hey man, how come your Zerk hasn't joined us for hard mode Ivory Tower yet? And it's a collage of pities on the weapon specifically. Yeah, this will definitely do it to you. This is something that they've been working on, at least, in the current Korean version. They've smoothed out the differential between pitying and not pitying. Because it is quite absurd how crazy the gap is between pitying and not pitying. Maybe it's obvious to some people, but maybe not so much to others. But if you really look at like average expected results, you look at averages and you look at pity, it's kind of absurd. In most cases, it's like 2.5 times the materials over average. And that can really mess you up, especially when you're going for like item level pushes on weapon, right? So this really sucks for this guy, and I know that feeling, man. It all started because you started honing using betrayal. It was a betrayal indeed. Sad. And then you have the guy from last week saying how he got 2 characters of 1620 with under 40 artisan, only 3 low pities between them, and it was what he called average luck. That's crazy. Then you have the guy in the group who starts to hone with 400 leap stones and gets from 1603 to 1610 with it. I mean, that was me on my Soulfist the other day. God damn. That was such a nice luck streak. And I needed it after all the fucking shit I've gotten. But that's crazy. But yes, this is the kind of, like, luck differential. And it's just absurd what it can be between people. It's just insane. You have the insanely unlucky, and then you have the sanely lucky. It's just crazy. I feel I didn't quite pity all my weapons, but the lowest artisan I got was 73% for 18, and I pitied 16, 17, 19, and 20 months of work and savings all disappeared due to bad luck. True facts, man. Luckily, it will balance out at some point, but it doesn't change the fact that it sucked really bad in the moment. So, yes. I commented this before, but the gap between people one-tapping, hitting pity, and hell, even average scenario is so freaking wide in terms of progression is crazy. It'd be fine if we had the time between content like Korea did, but not with our timeline. Yeah, true. Not even the gap between average and pity is massive. 1 pity piece is 3 average hones. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like 2.5 times or so the materials. It's absurdly large, and it's crazy how... if you just hit average luck versus not pitying, you'll get like 2.5 extra hones, basically. That's how you know there's an insurmountable gap between one tap and pity. Smilegate needs to address this shit fast. Yeah, I mean, like this guy said, hopefully that's what the advanced honing thing is for, when the character reaches the item level for it at least. Really sucks that how unlocking new content in the main progression system can be difference of a month over farming resources purely based on luck. Yeah, it's not great. And I think they realize that, and that's what they're trying to fix, hopefully. The game is night and day, depending on how lucky you are, kind of BS how insane the RNG all systems like quality and honing are. Yeah. Though I do think all the other slot machine systems are, like, less meaningful in a way. Not to say that they're not, like, terrible. Excuse me, had to yawn. Not to say that they're not terrible or anything, but like getting bad RNG on like your quality rolls isn't going to gatekeep you from like new content, right? Not being 1620 is going to prevent you from not getting into those groups because you can't. But it does suck either way. I do think everything should have a pity timer. I've always said this. I think quality should have a pity as well. I don't know how you would make a pity on something like bracelets. I think bracelets should just have a completely different system altogether in terms of rolling the stats. I think they could make it a little bit less RNG while still keeping the randomness element to it. But, I mean, I'm not a game designer, so what do I know, right? What do we got here? State of Ivory Tower. 4x3 support, level 5 gems. 5x3 plus 2 DPS, level 10 gems. I mean, yeah, that's like every new content release, right? And then eventually more people get their characters up to that, and then it becomes less of a thing. But right now, yeah. Excuse me, I had to yawn again. Never do this to your static support. For context, I've been playing in a static after Kyangol released. My roster is mostly support characters. Slowly, I started to realize something. As their character progresses and getting stronger, they start to switch their strong characters to Pug, replacing them with on-item level alts running with me. I understand the reasoning of doing that since it's harder to find a group with their alts. Since Kyangol, my raid clear speed more or less has stayed the same. As a support, no matter how strong I get. I can't do much about it. I don't feel the power up at all, so now it repeats again with a con hard mode. They replace 1620 characters with their 1600 alts. The fight is already long enough, even with high gear and item level DPS is squishy when I have to focus and take care of them more compared to higher item level DPS. Now I feel so exhausted that I share this story here. I don't feel the fun of getting stronger and clear the raid faster at all. I'm happy that I could help their alts to finish the raids, but for some reason I feel like it's too much. Yes. So this is a sentiment that has been around since the dawn of time. Especially with, like, support mains in statics. And this is, like, a big reason why statics break up. At least in my experience. Because people will start to swap off their mains and bring in their rat alts. And it will just be unfun for the support player. Because they're still expected to be on their support. Obviously. It's hard. And I think it comes down to mostly with the people you play with, right? This is going to be completely a thing based on the people that you play with, and it's something you really have to sit down and talk to them about and be like, hey, mans, this is not chill with me. We always keep the balance and only rotate like 1 or 2 mains out. No one is interested in spending more than 1 hour in Huck on hard mode. You talk to them, if they don't listen, leave. Yeah. I mean, this is what I was saying. Like, you need to talk to them about this stuff because it's not great. And maybe they don't realize what's happening from your perspective, or maybe they do and they just don't care. But either way, it's a conversation that needs to happen. And whether it's a good result or a bad result, I mean, it just depends on what kind of people they are, right? You're not going to know until you talk to them. And I think that's the important thing. Sounds like you need to have a talk with your static, yeah. Everyone's demonizing the static, but it doesn't sound like OP has actually spoken to them about this. You can't get mad at someone for not listening to you if you haven't actually said anything. Yeah, this is true. This is what happened in my very first static. Once they overleveled the content, they went busting and didn't need me anymore. I left them. This is also something that used to happen a lot, especially back in the day, where suddenly you wouldn't need to do the static anymore. You just bust it on your own with like smaller groups of the static, like group mates of the static. This was another big thing that one of my support friends really disliked, and I mean, I don't blame him. It sucks. I wish people were better, like just in general, better to each other. But I always say this. I'm like a very idealistic person when I say people need to be better to each other. And I mean, it's not like you have to be super nice to each other, but just don't do shit like that. Had the same thing happen to me in Kaya. The people I was running with eventually dropped me and forced me to run with their low effort alts. They wanted all my supports and always brushed off helping my DPS alts. So we played for like 2 months and I was always stuck with a full 1580 party on my main and a 1540 party on my alt supports, even though they had multiple characters above that. I talked to them and they were super rude about it, so I decided to leave. One of them tried to get me to join their Voldus static and I told them sure. When maintenance finished, I told them to pay 10k per person. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. People have this really bad mentality of, I got mine and that's all that matters. And it goes far beyond just the video game. You just have to find the people worth playing with, right? And only you will know who those people are by talking to them, and just interacting and whatever, right? Like, it's definitely something that takes time to figure out and find out, but yeah. Primal Island is trash. Primal Island is the most annoying piece of crap content. All weapons feel clunky, irresponsive, enemy movement unpredictable due to lag, and teaming up is cherry on top. Yeah, Primal Island has seemingly been getting a lot of heat lately, especially since the whole Discord CMs being like, yeah, this is totally fine. Teaming up, you might as well go team up. Team up, guys. Come on, team up. It's just ridiculous. I upvoted this without even reading. Yeah. Everything about it is cool. The weapons and mechanics of it all pretty fun, but the designers in this game are so incompetent that they made built-in win trading mechanics from the matchmaking to in-game items to rewards. Matchmaking, you can literally matchmake and have your entire guild inside the same game. There's no restrictions. The amount of players for each game instance is pretty high, and it happens too often for many days, so the distribution of players is not centered, making the matchmaking manipulation really easy to do. In-game items, a drone who reveals everyone on the map for a long time regardless of being invisible, hidden, standing still. A win trader couldn't ask for more. This is legit the most Exodia item in this game mode. There's no items for you to escape. 5 people hunting you down. There's no counterplay. Raptor makes the opponent go faster than you, so just follow. Smoke does nothing because you can still see where they go, and they don't get slowed or stunned. Even if they did, they would just activate another drone and hunt you down anyways. Rewards, only placing higher gives you anything, and 2 win trading teams will cover every good reward worth playing the game mode for. This is so easy to fix, you don't even need to change anything, but the reward system better positions, more points, higher rewards faster. Guess what? Naruni was like this, and it was the most fun mode there ever was for events. I mean, they know something is good and that it works, and proceed to do the opposite just for fun, I guess. So dumb, man. Really frustrating company. How can't they just see that? Pure incompetence of not thinking about any aspect of design I'm talked about, despite being made for Koreans. Interesting. Teamers don't need to use the scouting drones. If one of them dies, they can just use the observe function to scout literally everyone, regardless of location. They'll be able to scout what primary weapon profile people are using and whether they're hanging around their own team or whether they're fighting or if they're in a bush or if they have any particular battle items active. So it's even better than the drone. So it's like one of those things where if you die, you can just spectate everyone and you... that's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean... I purposely stay away from PvP in this game just because I don't really enjoy it. But I definitely think Primal Island, while cool in concept, I think it really needs to sort of get a fundamental change in how the reward system is, at least. Because I think if there was less incentive to place higher to get the better rewards, there'd be less incentive to just team in general. Not to say that it would remove it all, but I think it would help a bit. It's kind of crazy to me that it's like so... widely accepted, I guess. I don't know if widely accepted is the right term, but yeah. Got teamed up on once, AGS didn't talk about it once. CBA skip angle, true. They did talk about it and recommended the LFG channel in their Discord to easier team up. Which is interesting, because in KR they banned for it, lol. Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean, like the miscommunication around stuff like this too, it's just ridiculous. The only bad thing about Primal Island is teaming and speed hacking, but that almost never comes up. I've done Primal every week and only saw it once. Teamers, on the other hand, are almost in every instance. Yeah. I can imagine. What do we got? What is the last post? Because I don't want to make this too long, since it's just a very casual episode where we're just kind of browsing and hanging out together. Oops, I already clicked on that. This happened to my friend. What happened to your friend? Oh. That is insanely lucky. According to the lore, L'Oreal was actually trying to lose that fight, so it all checks out. That's what I call skill. True. This is what they mean people should do when they say get good or skill issue. Your friend is a pro. Your friend just used 9-7 luck on a raid. That's funny. Let's do one more. Few things in this game piss me off as much as this. What do we got going on here, sir? FPP4D DPS. 1584 can apply with 1590 or higher. Yeah, I do think it's very strange that you can set the requirements of a lobby higher than your own. And it is annoying. And I specifically don't join lobbies that do it, just because I don't care. Like, other people will join. I don't really care. I'm okay with just joining a different lobby. It's just a small little thing that I do. It doesn't really do anything one way or the other, but it's just what I do. But it is crazy to me that you can set requirements higher than what you have. Pretty wild to make a group requirement you don't meet yourself, but support's got that privilege. Yeah, I think it's weird that you can even do this in the first place. Like, I feel like there should be a check that just makes it so you can't set it higher than you. But there's a lot of supports at Sonnenville. I don't know why this one feels special. Yeah, I mean, people want what they want, and if they can get it, they can get it. That's really all it comes down to, whether it's right or not. What's the difference if they insta-deny anyone less than or just set it so they can't apply it? I think it's just stupid to be able to set a requirement for a lot, just because it looks stupid to me, right? Like, 1584 can only apply with item level of 1590 or higher. Like, that just looks dumb. But functionally, you're completely correct, which is why I don't really care either way. Because even if you can't set it to that, they would just deny anyone that they didn't want, right? Like, I totally agree. That's just what would happen. I respect people who put proper item level requirements instead of denying every 1580 who applies. Yeah, I do like people who use the filters properly like this. I just don't think that you should be able to do it because it looks ridiculous, right? Like that's just it. I just think it looks silly. Would much rather have people set their real item level requirements, even if I think it's stupid, untitled, etc. Even worse are the people who don't deny applicants. They keep item level required at the default minimum setting, but won't actually accept nor deny anyone under a certain item level. So they'll let people apply, take up space on their list, and waste time waiting because they were never going to get in. Yeah. This I care a lot less about, though, because I can understand people are, like, trying to get friends in, waiting for friends or whatever, and it's like, at a certain point, you just got other things going on. And if you're sitting in a lobby group for like 30 seconds to a minute, you're probably not getting in anyways, so I just go to another group. It's totally chill. But it is annoying, and I understand it. You think that's bad? I've seen 1500 item level supports putting 1540 as requirement for bro 1-3 normal. 1500 support put in title plus 1580 card run DPS and clown. True. Gatekeeping guardians is so cringe. Just don't ever apply to support groups who do this on your DPS. I know I avoid them. The real chads are the supports who host guardians or just matchmake and spam click over accept without checking. I do this personally. I've been accepted to a few groups who do as well. I mean, yeah, that's what I do. I don't really give a shit. Whether it takes an extra minute or not, it honestly doesn't matter to me. But I've always been like that. Anyways, I think that'll be it for this week's Topical Tuesday. Pretty chill week. Nothing really going on. Hopefully you guys are having a good new year, good start to your new year. So hopefully this new year is better for the both of us. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Bye.